So I'm really delighted to introduce Jen Metzger. She's running for State Senate District 42. She is a mother, a community activist, and elected representative. She's gotten a lot done in our community, in the town council of Rosendale, where she lives, and through the organization she has co-founded and directs called Citizens for Local Power. Jen is stepping up to the next level to represent us in the state Senate. Okay, so we know the Republicans control the state Senate, but this is an open seat, and this is a blue district, and Jen is the right candidate at the right time. Please help me welcome Jen Metzger.
Thank you. This is what democracy looks like, right? This is what it looks like. So I want to thank Joy, I want to thank Ulster activists, I want to thank all the activists that are here today, because this is how we're going to get it done. So I've got a few questions for you. Who believes that health care is a right? I think so too. Who believes we need to fix the way we fund our public schools so that people can stay in their homes and our kids and our schools get the resources they need? I believe that. Who believes we need a clean energy economy that creates good jobs while protecting the environment? I believe that. Who believes that our state government should represent us, the people, and not the big corporate donors? I believe these things, and this is why I'm running for State Senate, District 42. My name's Jen Metzger. I want to thank you all for being here. This is how we're going to do it. I'm from Rosendale, as was mentioned. For the last 17 years, I've been raising my 3 sons with my husband, John, and working for our communities at local and regional levels. I've gotten a lot done, but I am tired of waiting for our state Senate to do its job. We are at a critical juncture in this country. The Trump administration and the Republican-controlled Congress have launched a full-blown assault on public welfare, on public health, on people's rights. Now more than ever, states have to step up. They have to protect the public welfare. They have to stand up for our democratic values. They have to stand up for our democratic institutions. This is the moment that this has to happen. Unfortunately, the Republican-controlled Congress has been blocking every piece of legislation that would serve our communities. They have stopped the New York Health Act, which would create a single-payer system in New York. They have killed in committee, plenty of legislation that would have helped us shift to a locally based clean energy economy and stop the build-out of fossil fuel projects, which we are seeing. I mean, how are we ever going to address climate with every project that keeps getting approved? They have voted against closing off the river of corporate money that is flowing into Albany. They have voted against making it easier for people to vote. They have stopped. Quiet up there. Okay. They have killed in committee the Reproductive Health Act, the Comprehensive Contraceptive Coverage Act, a tongue twister, but an important piece of legislation, all right, to protect women's rights and women's health. Now, we have an unbelievable opportunity to change this and make this happen right now. We are 1 seat short of a working Democratic majority in the state Senate. This seat is an open seat. The incumbent, 20 years in there, has finally decided to retire. And we have more registered Democrats in this district than we have Republicans. All we need to do is get everyone out to vote. Right? Get them out to vote. And we are going to make that happen, okay? We're going to make that happen. We have to talk. We have to stop people at the post office and when we're waiting at the checkout at the grocery store and talk to them about this election. We have to talk to our friends, our neighbors, our family. We have to sign up to volunteer for a campaign, to make phone calls, to knock on doors, to write postcards. If we do all these things between now and November, we can get a state senate that represents us, that works for us. So I call on you all today, visit those tables, come to my table and sign up to volunteer, come to everyone's table and sign up to volunteer. I want to thank all of you that were out here in the rain today, knocking on doors. That is what it's going to take. That's old-fashioned campaigning, and that's how we'll win. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Next, we will hear from Pat Strong, another candidate for a different Senate district, which is 46, and who is going to introduce, I'm introducing that. State Senate for Strong, here she is.
Thank you. I'm accustomed to doing my own introduction. That's quite all right. Can I just see a show of hands? How many people here are from Kingston or anywhere like that? Yay, Kingston. All right. So a little bit of background. I am from Kingston. That is the heart of the lower half of the 46th Senate District. But it is confusing, so let's just talk about how this works. The district starts in Highland and goes north, but it doesn't go any further west than Woodstock. It is gerrymandered to a great degree. So we are two women who work together and are colleagues in environmental matters, and we're trying to serve this very gerrymandered Ulster County with our candidacies. But by way of introduction, I do work full-time as an environmentalist. It's been my privilege to work with Jen Metzger over the last 2 years on projects for NYSERDA. I'm also the president, or the immediate past president of the Business Alliance of Kingston, which I founded in 2009. I'm the founder of Made in Kingston, which is a really fun arts event that I hope you'll come to this December 6th. So that's a little bit of background, but it is amazing to me that I have to stand here and tell you that our state senator from the Kingston area on up is someone who actively opposed the anti-fracking measure that went in when he was an assemblyman. He can't wait to be anti-choice because he's already on record for that. He has a long history of opposing marriage equality. So these are the qualities of our sitting state senator now that galvanized me to get into this race. I am a first-time candidate. I have never run for public office before, but when I reviewed the record, I said, this is the year. This is the change year. We can do this. As Jen said, there are so many things we need to work on in Albany, but the exciting thing is we are going to have a Democratic majority. We will pass the Reproductive Health Act. We will pass the New York Health Act, and we'll move toward finally getting everyone insured in New York State. And on a more serious note, we will do something finally to get a handle on the opioid epidemic. We know what to do. The providers are telling us what to do. We have to give them the resources they need to get this work done. We're losing a whole generation of people. So that is just a short laundry list of some of the things I'm looking forward to working on. We've had a great turnout of volunteers already in Kingston, but we'd love to hear from more of you. I have a beautiful campaign office that's been donated to me right in Midtown Kingston, where I live and work. If you haven't already, come say hello to us or go to Vote Pat Strong and sign up to volunteer. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to put you to work. Thank you so much.
Next, we will hear from another candidate for State Senate, Jim Schofies. Where is Jim?
He's not here, but I'm going to write down.
We have a proxy. Step right up. Hi, please say who you are and what you do for Jim.
So I'm Alex Almazri. I'm James's campaign manager. Unfortunately, James could not be here, but I will be really quick because I'm sure you don't want to hear from me. You'd rather hear from James. So James represents the 39th Senate District, which only has a very, very small portion of Ulster County in it, but it's a very important portion of Ulster County, Plattekill and Marlborough. But his district then borders Jen's district down into Orange County, and he has a little bit of Rockland. So I'll just tell you a little bit about James. He's been an assemblyman in Orange County for about 6 years now. And the senator for the 39th District, Senator Bill Larkin, has finally decided to retire at the ripe old age of 90. He was there for 30 years, and we've all been waiting for him to retire because this district is ripe for the taking, and James has been the one we wanted to run for this district for a very long time. So not only because it's an open seat does James have a good shot at winning it, but James in the Assembly represents a portion of the most Republican base of the district. His Assembly seat, Trump won by 12 points. So you just add the city of Newburgh on top of that and the village of Haverstraw, which are both Democratic strongholds, and James has a really good chance to win. And looking at this list, these are all things which in the Assembly James has voted for, so he's been able to hold a progressive record in the Assembly while still representing a conservative district. He's been doing that for years now, unlike his opponent, who comes from the most destructive wing of the Republican Party. Someone who's running for state senate who's already taken $18,000 from the Mercers directly. And the list just goes on and on. He founded Reclaim New York with Steve Bannon. Tom Basile. You can remember Silly Basile. So that's just a very stark contrast of who they are. So I hope that when you guys are out there knocking for Antonio in Plattekill, Marlborough, you also bring your James lit. And if you know any friends in Plattekill and Marlborough, tell them to go to Scoopers for New York and sign up. And thank you so much for letting me speak.
Thank you. So that's James Schofies, and now we have Maggie. What? Who do we have? Not yet, not yet. He's saving the best for last, so to speak. Maggie, you're up for Juan Figueroa.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm particularly excited to introduce Juan because I was raised in the town of Plattekill. I'm now a New Paltz resident, and Juan has worked for us for many years. He worked for us as a Marine for 22 years, and he worked for us as a state trooper for 25 years. And I think that the role he wants to play as his county sheriff will give us a much better shot at having fairness in our judicial system. We all know the problem we have with the rate of